All right, welcome to another episode from the chart readers, and I have to share something really funny, okay? So I definitely did not make videos yesterday because I was a little busy, and I mean, I died at this comment, all right? So obviously I got the AI video so wrong, okay? And I love that he basically said, hey, it's okay, it's I died. So hey, if you didn't see this, I actually really enjoyed it. Again, man, NASDAQ doing what it did on AI still kind of blows me away, all right? But that's not what we're going to talk about today. What we are going to be talking about is GNS, MCOM, and then affirm. All right, that's the 1, 2, 3 for today. Okay, so GNS. I'll be honest with you. I think I made a video about this not that long ago. I don't know. I know we've been talking about it on the Discord group for a while, but GNS, man, has had some really interesting technicals, and I'll be honest, I've personally expected more out of this, all right? And I'll talk about it, but today was important, and my favorite part of today, I actually prepared, I normally don't, but this morning, again, I'm on the West Coast, right? So at 9 something, I was like, why is this thing not pushing 30%? In the next couple hours, it basically started to do that, you know what I mean? So if you're not in the Discord and you're trying to move some stuff, oh man, I don't know what you guys are doing, but everything is for sure free on that thing, okay? MCOM's another one, and I'm going to give credit again to the Discord when I get to it, but I wasn't even looking at it. Someone called it on the group, and yeah, it was a beautiful little day right there as well, right? So we'll talk about that. And then affirm, I have not been looking at. That one was a viewer request, so I will get that in. Oh, there's a fourth one, PGEN. I'll throw PGEN in this one as well. So that'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me out so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? If you can actually share it, that's probably the best thing you can do because I'm not the best at it. And then again, it is completely free. The link is in the comments of YouTube video. Join the Discord group. Man, there are so many good people on this. I give my opinions on sound. This is where you can kind of get some like immediate comments, questions, and like screenshots, right? So okay, let's talk about GNS. And look, so far, we had a very beautiful, just what I call technical analysis 101 move, right? Especially with moving average theory. Break the 8, go to the 20, right? Let's do it up here. It's easier. Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break the 50, go to the 100. Break the 100, go to the 200. And I mean, line to line to line to line, it did it, right? It got all the way there. I often stress that the 200 is a hard line. There is a reason this is the last one here, right? I'm telling you, these are arbitrary numbers. I could have picked moving average 250, 7,000, like whatever the system's willing to give me. I can put whatever imaginary numbers I want next to this moving average, right? Like the moving average 200, it's a thing for a reason, is all I'm going to say, right? And yeah, we get to it, but fail hard, all right? Super glad that the 100 caught it, right? It could have kept going lower. And you know what? What was the stock? You know which one it was? It was Curaleaf. Curaleaf right here gets to it. There were so many lines that could have caught it, even this one, and it didn't. It just kept like, so when I say, hey, I'm glad the 100 caught it, it couldn't. It for sure, like, and you can even give it a little bit credit to the 20 as well, right? But yeah, a hard rejection of the 200 is a very real thing, and as much as that sucked, no one wanted to go from a little more than 150 to actually below $1. That was more than a 50% down in a few days, right? Like, I'm not pretending that wasn't bad. That said, it actually could have been worse, and the lines did their job, right? It is what it is, okay? The one thing I want to show, and man, look at this 100, okay? We've broken it before, actually bounced on it before, kind of held it for a couple days and then lost it, right? So I actually, again, I think that's why a little bit I was focusing on the 100 myself, just by that little past knowledge that I had. But I'm glad we did that, and I'm glad we're back up. I haven't even talked about today and the 30% day we had today, right? But this alone was good. The issue was simply volume, especially the last few days. All right, like even these days, obviously it went down and it went down. Like most of the days during this last month, it's been well over that 50 day average line, right? These last three actually did nothing. And I'm glad today picked it back up. You know what I mean? And again, what's today making me feel? Look, I know it's only a penny, but we actually closed a penny over this line, right? I had the line at 143. I at least see it being the top of that. Is it something even more important over here? Oh, yeah, it's the top of that. Not quite. Oh, it's this one. Oh, not quite 50% candle, but it's close to it. I think that break of the 143 is actually pretty important. Again, I know it's only a penny, but I'll take it, right? We actually couldn't do it here. 143 is where it closes. 143 was the line, right? So this one's at least over. Here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this to come up to $1.60, all right? And again, I know that doesn't sound like much, but that actually is still another 10% from where we're at, right? We're adding just under 20 cents, 10% is 14, so I'm going to call that, right? The money is after this line, all right? From 160 up, look, I'm going to delete the line pretty immediately, right? But like from here, all we've got is a big green, a whole mess of red, and not like breaking this little line should actually be a really quick climb to 220. All right. After 220, again, there's just a lot of reason to climb. I guess we'll draw this just to have it. And then I think it's also worth drawing that. Okay. What's the bottom of that? Are you about? Okay, that's not bad. I'll take the bottom of that and call that roughly 50%. But man, if 160 breaks, we're almost talking about a quick ride to almost 4. I think there's a couple things in that 2 and 3 world, but big up, bad down, quick up, down. Like there's a lot of reason to say green if we can actually get over the 200. All right. That said, I've said it a couple times. This 200 isn't that old. It literally started just before February. Okay, so we've pretty much never been over it. I'm kind of calling that fake and that fake. All right, like yes, we were physically over it for quite a minute too, about a full month, but none of those make me say we've broken the 200 before. So I think it's really important to see if we can get to the line at 160 and then what happens. But that's a good MACD right there. We're in the positive. We're starting to diverge again. And again, diverge is nothing more than a fancy word for the two lines going away. We want the green to go up, right? So that's good. RSI's, look, 68 has a lot of room to go up. And we've seen this thing get as high as 85. What was this one right here? 78, 85, you know. It's got some room. It's got some room to go up, actually. And then again, today was a decent volume day. Hopefully we can get another one of like these big ones. But I'm glad we're kind of getting back to these two, right? Like we were able to kind of maintain those two. And, you know, I see more green than red here, which again keeps making me believe more people since the 7th. I mean, obviously we can say since the 3rd, whatever, right? But since this thing has been going up, though it hasn't been like exponentially going up, there are people buying and holding, right? Like I see that. There hasn't been a crazy dump off offsetting any of these buy candles, right? So it is all about 160 breaking. It seems to me it wants to at least, oh man, look at that. That's 163. That's a really big line. But again, I mean, this broke both. That didn't confirm. I can't call that a confirmation. In a lot of ways, maybe the candle offsets by the fact that it broke this 143. I don't know. And it looks like the number went up a little bit, 146. I thought we just said that the day ended at 144, so I guess something just adjusted as I was speaking, whatever. What are you doing after hours? You know I don't care about after hours. It's holding. I'll take holding. Yeah, I can't call this, like, damn, that's interesting. I don't know if 160, this looks okay, that looks good, and this is actually a little bit more okay than good, because over the weekly, it's still far more selling than buying. Okay, this obviously offsets that and still leaves a little bit. This offsets that and still, like, there were more people selling than buying between August and today. Okay. That said, in the more immediate window, there's been a lot more holding than selling. So it's an interesting contradiction on the daily and the weekly, but I don't really see it as a contradiction. I just think it's a different viewpoint giving different things, right? Like, we're looking at a smaller window here, we're looking at a bigger window there. It helps us make these decisions, right? But overall, again, I think the comments still echo. It looks like it wants to get to 160. 160 to 163 is going to be the money canyon. All right. It's not really a line. There's a couple cents right there, right? So we'll call it a canyon. It needs to Homer Simpson jump the canyon. Homer doesn't make it in that episode, right? So it needs to be a little bit more Evel Knievel than Homer. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Again, GNS has the ability to meme power volume, right? Like, this thing, for no reason at all, goes from 8 million volume on this day, all the way up to 60 million, right? So this thing knows how to do like a 6x, 7x real quick out of nowhere. So, is what it is. And obviously that multiple was even sillier right there, right? So I think there's more to like here than not, but yeah, 160, 163, there's actually no guarantee that breaks, okay? So let's move into MCOM, all right? And again, I'm going to really quickly go to the Discord group. Everything is for sure free, and nothing at all is financial advice, all right? So when we look at MCOM, boom, dude, CMAC, she's a nasty one, all right? There's nothing else I can actually say about that. I mentioned her in the last video, actually, too. Like, right when it started to go, it went. What I love is he dropped some cool news, and I got to, dude, this is a badass CEO name, all right? Sorry to curse, I try not to, but Salvatore Baeta. Hell yeah, dude, come on. This is the name of the CEO. I love that, right? But look, she drops a quick little thing. I say all about 10 cents. We start talking. I even talk about holding, right? So like we're having some real good conversations here, right? But yeah, she called this thing in the 7s for sure. I don't think it was in the 6s, but again, whatever. You can go check the time, right? Nonetheless, we're helping each other. We're a beautiful little family on this. You already know we're a good little family on this YouTube, right? But MCOM, there's some interesting things happening, and I hope you see it before I say it. It's all about the 20, and just look at these two candles. Remember what they look like. It's that green open one, right? And let me just, before I zoom, green, this is good because we open at 7, you can see it in the box, and rise to 9. We open at 7 and we rise to 8, right? Just remember those. We'll get back to everything later. So the last 1, 2, 3, the last 4 real green interactions have been bad candles, all right? If you watch my videos, I hate the filled in ones, all right? There are various degrees of good. There is good, and bad good. If you hit the lotto and it's $1 million, you hit the 6 and then, you know what I mean? Or, hey, you won a free ticket. Yeah, both are good, I guess. One is good. One's like, all right, good, okay? And look, what's the issue? It's the opposite of what we were talking about. This opens at 939. You can see it in the box, and then drops a full $2. More people lost 20% that day than anything. This one's so dramatic. This one opens at 0.49 and then drops almost 50% down to 0.27. There is no green day for a lot of people there. There is a lot of bloodshed, right? So that day, and that day, the last 4 real green interactions with the 20. What's happened the last 2? They're better. Now, don't get me wrong. I always say it. Confirmation, one more time, loud enough for the people in the back to hear it. Confirmation. That's what we're here for. I'm not here pretending I know when the one good pop is. I'm here saying I've got a good idea when I believe it's going to keep going up or when it's not, right? And this couldn't confirm. The real question will be, can this confirm on Monday? What are you doing after hours? You're holding. I'll take it. I don't care much about after hours, but I like the fact that these two are improving over the last four. I really can't stress that, right? Like that's solid for sure. I'm kind of ignoring all that, right? Like one, two, three, four. Okay. What are the next thoughts? So the next thoughts, like I actually said on the Discord right here, it's all about 10. Oops, not YouTube, sorry. Let me close that just to not do that again. So why? Because of this 50 moving average right here, the red line. If we, moving average theory, break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100. Look, it's not easy to break the 8 and the 20. That's a really fun little rhyme I like to say. It is not easy to get to the 8, break the 8 and go to the 20. It's not, okay? We can get over it, but can't hold it. We can get over it, but can't hold it. We can get over, like, don't like, these are computer, like, I have zero influence on these 5 beautiful lines, right? If we can break it, the next place we're going to want to go is the 50. And keep in mind, we actually have never even touched this line since right here, right? So while this 20 moving average had 4 bad ones before we had the 1, 2 good ones, giving us number 6 attempt, right? This 50 has had 1 since that 6. Right? So like even breaking the 50 will not be easy. All right. So don't, but I know I said it and I'm going to click to it. Oh, it was right here. Look at that. Even not breaking it being the 10 is a great percent from 8, right? Like don't get greedy and see this and go, oh my, look how far up that is. Like you cannot have 50-cent dreams on an 8-cent stock. Get out of here with that noise. All right. You know, I see red, like you know I see it, you know I love saying it, right? You know I would get so many more views and clicks if I just said nothing but green, but like the realities are the realities. Like I'm still not convinced we're going to break the 20. I really would not be surprised if we get her. And again, despite the fact that I might be holding over the weekend, right? Like that was well later into the day after I saw the candle do its magic, right? Like, hey, we might be coming down to 7. And I know it only sounds like a penny, but that same penny that brought me a beautiful day will eat it completely away. All right. So like we very, very easily might not even just go to 7. We might go to a pretty bad 7. Right? Doesn't look like we'll slip into the 6. I don't know if we're going to lose those 2 on a single day. But yeah, we might very easily go all the way down to here, if not all the way down to there. Right? And truth be told, we actually might even go even worse. Right? Like we've seen it right there. We've seen it right there. We've seen, you know what I mean? So like more things are saying bad than good. However, this is the gamble that we play, right? Like I don't live in Vegas. I can't pull that slot machine whenever I want, but I could let a little ride on MCOM, and if I'm wrong, you know, it's not going to burn me, right? Like that's a lot of the point, right? But hey, I would love to just ride 8 to 10. I'm not here to get greedy. Let me do 2 cents on an 8-cent stock. How many of 2 cents do we have? We only have 4 of those. That's another 25% move, even if you miss today, right? Like, I would love that. Hey, if this breaks, yeah, we'll start talking 10 to 18. Then maybe we'll start talking 18 to 30-ish. Then we'll start talking 30 to 50. There are a lot of legs in between this break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, right? So I'm not even going to draw this line yet. I don't even want you to have 30-cent dreams. I don't think we're there just yet, but hey, MACD's, I think that was actually a really good view. MACD's getting really, really close to that 0 line. It's been getting incrementally close as it's been going down too, which is a little odd, right? But this has been staying flat and maybe it's kind of peaking up. All right. The one just general thing is volume has been bad. There's clearly been no one holding this stock, right? So just play this one with caution. Again, I'm actually relatively happy we're holding. After hours goes down a bit. You know I don't care much about after hours, but yeah, we'll take a peek. So damn, I wanted to cover 2 more. All right. Affirm. AFRM. Nice. Affirm. Let's take a look at Affirm. All right. So today was a 30% mover. I for sure, like that's an easy thing to focus on. That's actually the last thing I'm looking at on this chart. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is zoom out. Okay. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. This thing I remember was really, really hot and you can see it. Wow. Today matched some historically high volumes. That's actually super important. What was your day? This day was 85 million. All right, you can see it in red right there. Volume 85 million. What was today? 83. What was your day? 86. Today was the third highest volume in the 2.5 year history here. That's an important sentence. I actually didn't even know that. Okay, interesting. Look, I often say, oh man, this is a beautiful little view here. And you know what? If you were watching the last couple videos, I think this kind of echoes it, right? You can just break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, break the 100, go to the 200. But that doesn't mean you're going to break all 5 and fly. And it does it here and fails it. It does it here. You would think it went, but no, instead it comes back down. Again, you would think it went, instead it comes back down, right? Like this 200 moving average line is no joke. It isn't. And there are times when it looks like you're going to fly. I think a little bit of a high RSI might have been an easy thing to catch here. Again, not quite here. I'm surprised that one didn't go. I'll be real honest. I'm surprised that one didn't go. Again, we're sorry. Nonetheless, let me actually zoom out one more time. Is this the first time in a while? Yeah, this is actually the first. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. Sometimes I just got to take a look and see what I see, okay? So today breaks 2 moving averages rather significantly, all right? And I think, look, that number 3 volume all time actually still has, I think there's not a lot I need to say here. What's your line at? No. I think if it was just a little higher, I think that's the real line. I think if this can break 1935, yeah, I like 1935 a lot. Oh, I'll be honest, man. There's actually a little bit of a reason to raise it just a little bit more. All right, let me tell you a couple things I think I see. Okay, so this is a really good line, all right? It's obviously the top of this. You saw me draw it. It breaks us into this big candle already, which kind of makes me believe we'll ride that elevator. That's almost picture perfect 50% candle. Looks like it hits top and bottom of that. Looks like it hits bottom of that. Looks like it hits a bunch of bottoms of that. Like, it almost makes me want to raise, like, I at least will be setting my alert for like 19, what are you guys doing? Get out of here. 1939 or, yeah, 1930, 39, 38. Let's do that. I like that. Okay. I think it's worth waiting for this for 2 reasons. Number one, I was just saying it, right? I think that volume thing kind of, we broke 2 moving averages on a single day. All right. That generally means I need really good confirmation the next day to actually make me believe that this happened. I don't know what the news was. I have to believe there was some really hardcore news. I don't know if it was earnings or not. If you can let me know in the comments, please. But are you moving up after hours? Oh, you're holding. Again, I'll take holding. I'm happy with holding, people. I don't need runs, actually. And for me, I'm not in this at all. I don't want this to run, okay? I want to get in here. You can argue. Oh, that's actually kind of what wicked it, right? I'm kind of looking for 50% candle. I think, wow, 1847 is a very, very arguable entry, all right? Maybe a couple cents higher, maybe like 52 or whatever, but I think there's a little bit of wiggle room. Man, I'm going to set that alert, I think. Shit, let me draw the line one more time. I'm so sorry, team. How greedy am I trying to get here? Let's do 52. Let's do 52. I'm telling you, man, this is the struggle I have. It's a pennies game sometimes. Look. I can see an entry there to, again, hopefully take us from there to there. There's a little bit of a dollar right there, right? Like, that's not quite a full 10%. It's about a 5%. Again, as I'm saying the words, maybe I'm getting a little greedy there, right? But yeah, 19 breaking would be beautiful. Let me know what the news was. Again, holding into the weekend is always an interesting thing, right? But yeah, if there's a continuation on Monday, look, we've tried to break all 5 and fly. We've tried to break all 5 and fly. We've tried. This, in a lot of ways, is a horizontal moving average cluster, all right? You have all 5 lines really close to each other, and I often call it a tornado. You go from the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top. It's the Helter Skelter song, right? Like, you go back to the bottom, then you go to... I'm not going to sing it. That was horrible, and I apologize, right? But you need to believe that you've broken away, right? And again, the 2 stocks I like to show. Palantir. You go bottom to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to finally up, or you go top to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, like for months on months on months on months on months as well, until you finally bottom out, right? So again, there are a lot of extremes it can go. I see a little bit of one here actually forming in like a little bit more of a spread out cluster. It's not as tight as I normally see them, but bottom to the top, bottom to the, like that is what this is doing, right? So I think that that's actually a really good line. 1935. I actually almost regret putting that 18 one. I will probably go into my alert console and delete that. I think it's well worth waiting for 1935 to break. I do. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. Oh, look at this, baby. Look at this. If you can break all the moving averages, you also fly on the weekly. Again, we're not quite there. There's 3 here and the brand new 4th one there, right? So there is no 200 just yet. I'm not going to count all the candles. It looks like we're getting close to 100 though, but again, I don't really know. I'm not here to count all those, but I like this. Again, you know it. Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break the 50, go to the 100. And yeah, do not have $38, $40 dreams on this just yet. But man, I see a lot. There's a lot to like on Affirm, actually. Just make me believe we're above all 5 and ready to fly. All right, that's the job here, all right? PGEN, that's the last one, right? That's the last one we're going to look at. Yes. Okay, PGEN, this one was also, one more time, completely free, all right? PGEN was brought up. When? Right here. Nice. Look at that. I didn't even see Jay brought it up. Nice. Look at that. Actually, not that. He brought this up days ago, too. I like it. And actually, PGEN's been doing well since days ago, too. Okay. What are we looking at? Again, it's the same things like break all 5 and fly. That's the goal. And I think a lot of the GNS comments apply. This is why I'm kind of zooming in. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these 4 little green ones offset, I think, these 4 little red ones. Give or take, I'm rounding, right? I actually think I see more red. We can even say these 4, whatever, right? We then have a good amount of greens that are going to offset the red. It seems like since the 7th till now, there's a little bit of an uptrend, right? I'm not going to draw that, but there is. People have been holding it instead of selling it. All right, I like that. We've been holding the 8 moving average like a champion. The 20 is also starting to come up as well. And again, we are technically over all 5 and ready to fly, right? Like there are things to like. Man, there's a couple extra things I like here. That's the one extreme, and it clearly hits it and drops, right? But it knows how to get to a 92 RSI. What's U right here? That's a 78. What's the day after? That's a 92. Okay, and then it drops. It can get to the higher 70s. It definitely knows how to do that. That's the number it's comfortable at, I would say. What's this one? 84. Okay, so there's a little bit of room for this thing to go up still, all right? That said, again, I don't know if we're going to do one like... all right, there's just a couple... All right, let me take a step back. Let's look at the weekly. Okay. Oh, man, I actually like this. I feel like we've actually confirmed this. Okay, so this is kind of telling me we're going to be coming to $2. All right, I think that's the easiest thing to actually say if I was going to give some sort of target. It actually says 205 right there. This is seemingly going to be coming down next week, though, right? It's obviously a downward line. I have no idea what the math is for these lines, but I think that'll probably come to a flat 2, kind of the top of this guy, right? So $2, and then what's after that? Oh, damn, all the way up here. Where are you at? Just so I can see you over there, 270. Okay, so now let me come here. Where's $2 at? $2 is pretty much that peak right there. Again, is it also the bottom of that right there? It is. Cool. So where I'm going to draw the line is just a little bit above the open of this, if I drew it correctly. So this, oops, I went away. This up, damn, right there. The 123, this bigger candle opens at 202. This bigger one, nice, we're at 203. That's why I zoom out and click. I've gotten so good at doing that, and yeah, I'm sorry if it gets annoying, but get me into this. Get me into this, and I think that's and now look, again, going from 25, it's not quite, it's about a 15% gain actually, but from here to here is 15%. All right, volume's actually kind of doing a pretty nice that. Even just that is pretty good too, right? So I think there's a lot of things that are saying this wants to come to 2. After 2, yeah, I don't even think I want to draw this. I guess there's something to draw. What is that, 220? That's another 20% can. All right, I think it's worth drawing because that might be a tighter window than it looks. Okay, so this is, I think, my assessment of PGEN. It took a longer time to do it than I thought. I think this is going to go from 173 into this 2 to 220 realm. I don't know if it's going to catch that full 10% extra or not, but I think you'll see a wick maybe somewhere in the middle around 214. I think the real, like, I don't even know if I want to call it the real money line, right? Because look, just kind of looking here, we've tried to escape and came back, try to escape, came back, try to escape, try to escape. Man, we've done this a couple times. This is an interesting stock. Damn. Dude, I think that's everything I got here. This was such an incomplete video. I feel wildly bad. I just think I'm going to go around in circles for another couple minutes. MACD looks good. RSI doesn't look bad. Volume doesn't look bad. Weekly doesn't look bad. I think there's more good things in my head than bad. I just, like I said, I can't really put it in my head if I think that that's going to break or not. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know the team's thoughts here. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to go in circles if I keep talking. So appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you.